And we're back with part two on Talk Fluids, where we continue talking about what Rivers Cuomo and Steve Jobs did to create vision without, and why it's necessary to create vision using a feedback loop, and how YouTube can help you build a client attracting brand that actually works. So let's dive into part two, where we talk about gut instincts versus testing your stuff on YouTube for market research.
Let me pause here and give you a simple process you can use this week, a framework inspired by Jobs and Greener's mindset. Here's a four-step behavioral listening loop for content creators. Publish with purpose. Number one, don't just post randomly. Pick one angle, idea, or topic you want to test. For example, this show. My idea was to show how music and artists were able to use marketing ideas to sell their records and become popular. So I bridged the two to now talk about how you can use this as content creators, course creators, coaches, uh, and entrepreneurs to do the same for social media and especially YouTube. Number two, observe without bias. Watch your analytics like Jobs did in a usability lab. No ego, just curiosity. An example of this, again, is on my show, Caribbean Sports Gallery. We just had a video that just had 4,500 views, a long form video. So now I look at the analytics and see what went right and what is going well for that. And I'm going to try to repeat that for all other shows in the future. We discovered that 6 minutes in, we're losing viewers. So now I need to figure out how to keep them on longer. Number three, extract insights like what I just did. Where do people drop off? What sparks comments? And what gets shared? Look for patterns and then repeat those patterns. And number four, iterate, don't guess. Use the insight to create your next video. Make one key change, then repeat that loop. Remember, just one key change. You can't test what has done well if you're changing too many things. So one at a time, and this is what split testing does. You do one key change on the same graphic, on the same title, but only one change, and then you can see whether that is a change that made a difference or was it something else, and then you can repeat it with another change. Do this every week and do this. And in 90 days, you won't just have more content, you'll have market intelligence, you'll have proof, and you'll have traction. So do this every day and set a schedule to try to see where you'll be in 21 days and 90 days. Remember, you don't need to be a genius like Jobs to build momentum. You just need to listen differently. So stay on. In the next section, we'll connect this to social media short form content and show how to combine the slow burn of long YouTube videos with quick spark reels, shorts, and TikToks to drive more leads, more trust, and more conversations. And we'll share real world examples of coaches and creators who are using the model to turn content into clients. So stay with us. Part three, gut instinct versus market signals. Let's take a breath here and clear something up. This is not a war between creativity and data. It's not a follow your heart versus listen to the numbers. The truth is, the best creators, the most successful coaches, and the most trusted brands, they don't choose between gut instinct and market signals. They combine both. So let's talk about what that actually means and how it changes the way you grow your YouTube channel and build your offers. And how this can lead to you attracting the right clients without burnout, without wasting time, without guessing, and without having to dance on the shorts. So let's talk about it. Vision without feedback is equal to fantasy. Let's start with this. You need a vision. You should believe something. You should have ideas that feel bold. You should have a unique point of view. And if you're a coach or course creators, all of these questions have already been answered. Or maybe two of them have, and you're still looking for the third. And that's what draws people to you. It's what separates you from the generic voices online who are just echoing each other. You are not allowed. You're allowed. This correction there. You are allowed to encourage to say, this is what I believe about health. This is what I know about relationships. This is the truth I've seen after 20 years of coaching. That's your gut instinct. It's your experience, your story, and it's your edge. But here's a mistake too many experts make. They treat that instinct like it's enough, but it isn't. They believe their gut without validating it in the real world. They build courses, launch offers, and publish videos based on what they think people need, and never stop to ask how the market is responding. And that, my friend, is how brilliant people stay stuck. So, what's the missing link? What's the shift? You don't abandon your instinct, you test it. You combine it with real world feedback. You say, here's what I believe. Let me put that belief into the world and let me watch what happens. And that right there is the difference between a dreamer and a strategist. So you can create a YouTube real-time feedback loop. Here's why YouTube is such a powerful platform for this kind of thinking. Every time you publish a video, you're running an experiment. You're testing a belief, a message, a pain point, a content angle, a call to action. And every single view, click, comment, or drop off becomes a signal, not just numbers, but behavior. So let's say you're a menopause coach. You've got a theory that the gut health is a key to hormone balance. That's your instinct, your insight, your zone of genius. So you publish a 10-minute video. Why gut health is a missing link in menopause. And I know this because we just did a video like that on one of my other channels called The Healthy Reset. You expect it to resonate. You think it's the best content you have ever created. But you check the analytics and people are dropping off after 2 minutes. They're not commenting. They're not even subscribing. But when you posted a 60-second short about 3 foods that help with hot flashes, you got 5,000 views in 2 days. That's a signal. Not the signal that your theory is wrong, but a signal that maybe your message needs reframing. And to tell you honest truth, folks, this comes with practice. But a signal that maybe your message needs reframing. Maybe you need to start with symptoms before introducing causes. Maybe your audience is asking, what can I eat today? Not what the gut biome is doing in my small intestines. Most people don't even know it exists. It doesn't mean your idea is bad. It means your communication needs fine-tuning. The same thing happened to Weezer. Let's take a quick detour into music because this same thing shows up everywhere. Louis Grenier brings it up in his Under Nudge podcast where he talks about Weezer, the band, put out a song called Records, and it tanked. No buzz, no real love. No, the fans didn't connect. Now, in Nudge, he isn't talking about Weezer. He's talking about a different marketing strategy and different group of marketers. But it is the same thing. So although he didn't mention Weezer as the primary band, and I'm mentioning Weezer, right? It is the same concept, just applied to a different market. So what did Weezer do? They released another song and another, and they watched. They used fan response to shape the rest of the album. They combined their creative instinct with audience feedback. And that's what made the album take off. The music didn't just get worse, it got tighter, sharper, more relevant. Same principle applies to you. If your video doesn't land, you don't panic. You don't assume you're terrible. You learn. So I mentioned earlier, your YouTube dashboard is equal to your market research lab. Let's get a practical minute. Consider this. YouTube has 2.5 billion users worldwide. That is the biggest testing pool that you can find. And I know this. I'm in medicine, and the most you might get in a medical survey is probably 10,000 people. You have 2.5 billion. You don't even have the time to ask all those people questions. So what do? You put out a video and see how far it reaches. So when you log into your YouTube studio, here's what to look for. Some practical tips here. The audience retention graph. This tells you how long people are watching. If 80% of your audience stays for the first 60 seconds, your hook is working. If they drop off in the middle, maybe your content isn't delivering on the promise. If they increase watch time halfway through, something caught their attention. Lean in and see what that is. Number 2, your click-through rate, or CTR. I'm sure you've heard this before. This shows how many people saw your thumbnail and title and actually clicked on it. A 2% CTR is a weak title and thumbnail. And if you're split testing your thumbnails and titles, it can give you great information on which one is working best. A 7% CTR, you're onto something. And as it grows higher, you're getting closer and closer. You're no longer getting cold, but getting nice and hot. Try different headlines for the same concept and test again. Number 3, your comments and questions. This is qualitative gold. Are people confused, inspired, asking for follow-ups? Those comments become your next video. It is giving you clarity. And if people are taking the time to comment, that means that they are engaged. Whether positive or negative comments, you're engaging your audience. Number 4, traffic sources. Did people find your video through search? That's SEO goals. Did it show up in suggested videos? YouTube is starting to trust your content. I recently had this discussion with my team at Caribbean Sports Gallery, where we discussed that our video going to 4,000 views and over means that we are being trusted by YouTube and we're getting a bigger reach. Excellent movement forward. You don't need a marketing team to track this. You just need curiosity, and YouTube can be your marketing team. So, how do you find the balance between gut versus market? Let's wrap up this section with a mindset you can adopt immediately. Your gut gives you the direction. It tells you what matters, what you care about, where your message comes from. The market gives you the tuning, the fine tuning you need. It helps you sharpen that message so people hear it. So it's not just you feel it. And a constant learning leads to absolute changes that are amazing for your audience. This is not about selling out or becoming a slave to the algorithm. It's about meeting people where they are, getting, getting real feedback so you can take them where you want them to go. It's about building trust. If your instinct is the spark, market signals are the oxygen, and together they make up the fire. So here's the feedback loop in motion. Here's what happens when you follow this loop for 4 to 6 weeks. You stop staring at a blank page. You build a content calendar based on what's working. You start seeing patterns in what your audience craves. And you get video comments that turn into lead magnet ideas. And that's not by accident. That's what happens when you listen. Like Jobs did, like Weezer did, like all great creators do. So a quick recap. If you remember only 3 things from this section, make it these 3. Long form builds trust, short form expands reach and gets views. Every piece of content is a chance to observe, not guess. Your message evolves by watching reactions, not chasing trends. This strategy doesn't just get you views. It gets you clarity, confidence, and conversion. And if you're building a purpose-driven business where the work you do actually matters, that's the kind of clarity that you need and is priceless. So let's dive in to the final section before we close off. Design not with, not for. Now let's take one step further. The real magic happens when you involve your audience in your process. Most entrepreneurs build a product in isolation, then try to sell it to strangers. But the most successful creators, they build with their community. They post content, watch reactions, start conversations, then use the feedback to co-create the next version of their service or product. This is what I call building in public. Here's how to do it. Use the YouTube community to tab to post polls or questions. Post live Q&A sessions and ask what people are struggling with. Share a behind-the-scenes look at your offer in progress and ask for feedback. Not only does this create a buy-in, it de-risks your launch. You're not hoping people want it. You already know they do. And the guesswork, and guess what? It also makes people feel seen. And when your audience feels seen, they stick around. Just like Weezer's fans, just like Apple's early adopters. Because the truth is, people don't just want a product, they want to be part of something. And that starts with listening. This is better known as the IKEA effect. So let's recap. Let's all bring it together and come up with an action plan. Here are your 3 biggest takeaways from today's episode. The myth of a solo genius is false. Steve Jobs did market research. He just didn't do it the way textbooks taught. He watched behavior, he tested prototypes, he listened with his eyes. YouTube isn't just for visibility, it's for validation. It is your biggest area for market research. Long form videos help you build trust. Short form videos or short form clips give you real time feedback. Together, they form a research and lead generation engine, one that has never been so effective ever. Number three, stop building in silence. Start building in public. Use content to test your message, shape your offer, and create your audience, not just for them. If you want to stop second guessing your ideas and start using YouTube to grow a real client generating brand, then join me at my free workshop held at the end of every month called the YouTube Lead Gen Kickstart. Inside, I show you how to build your channel, plan your videos, and turn your content into qualified conversations without spending all day online or learning complicated editing tools. The link is in the show notes. Head on there and get on the next free workshop. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope this changed how you think about content, research, and your role as a creator. See you next time on Talkfluence. I'm Dr. Z, and I'm here to help.